Oh, 3 open holes, every man's fantasy.
This podcast is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Spoiler warning for whatever is in the title of this episode.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share and subscribe. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the horrorofbabylonpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/thehorrorofbabylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that The Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible and all other major podcast apps.
Welcome to episode of Treehouse of Horror of Babylon, and also sort of episode 5 of the Blobathon, and sort of episode 9 of the Alienathon.
Is this episode 1 of the Thanksgiving-a-thon?
Yes. We just sort of found something that just like crossed all the beams.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to do that.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah. Speaking of people who shouldn't do things, thank you to our patrons, Abigail the First, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, and
Logan,
the Full Metal Cranberry Jar. Jar of cranberries sauce. I don't know. And thank you to Ben, the Fourth, Patron of Hope, and Mia the Fifth, the Rainmaker. She makes it rain cranberry sauce. And thank you to Horsemen Comics and Gaming, which you can visit at the Morgantown Mall in Morgantown, West Virginia, the Mall at Robinson, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can shop online at shop.horsemancomics.com and say hello to Ronald III, Grampus of Christmas, who is dead.
From cranberries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't think he eats anything that doesn't fall under the meat, bread, or cheese category.
Oh. So he doesn't eat children's bones?
No, that can fall under meat.
Okay.
At least eat off of the children's bones.
Okay.
Children's bones.
Skin is the best part.
The vampire's a pure myth, superstition. I may be able to bring you proof that the superstition of yesterday can become the scientific reality of today.
Original air date of this episode was November 24th, 2019. It is from the Thanksgiving of Horror episode, which is season 31, episode 8. Overall, it's episode 670. The first 2 segments, this is the third of 3 segments. The first 2 are Agabalipto, which is a parody of the Mel Gibson film Apocalypto. In the second segment is the Fourth Thursday After Tomorrow, which is a parody of the Black Mirror special White Christmas. And this episode was directed by Rob Oliver and written by Dan Weber, who are both Simpsons veterans.
And that's that. Another story in the classic, infallible 3-act structure. Good enough for Aristotle, good enough for the Simpsons.
Mr. Sislak, I have a feeling there's going to be one more act to this story.
Well, I'm not hanging around for that. 4 acts.
Jumping into structure and themes, it's sort of a alien setting with a blob villain. What are kind of the elements of both of those that you see in this?
You got the space isolation. You got that sort of slasher element from the first Alien movie where the thing is just kind of picking people off. I was going to say one at a time until it's the giant large group, which is more of a blob thing.
Yeah.
So it was doing an alien thing until it did the blob thing.
They almost kill it by launching it into space, which is what Ripley does with the xenomorph in the original movie.
We get a word-for-word recreation of that alien speech.
Yeah.
Who's that character?
Martin Prince.
Okay.
I was kind of waiting for him to, be revealed as an android, but then the whole, like, sucked out his bones thing wouldn't have worked if he was an android.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, just that whole little scene was...
I thought he was
really
just
cool.
going to... The blob was just, like, piloting skin. I thought that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, like, because you never see him turn around, and then you see him turn around, and the blob is, like, up his butt controlling him, or...
Something, yeah.
Yeah, something like it. No, he just went insane. It's a beautiful, beautiful creature. It's a... I don't remember the speech, but it's the speech that Ash gives. Ash!
Ah!
Ash versus Ash.
How did we miss that?
Okay, well, that'll be this week's Ash versus Ash.
Okay.
Ian Holmes, the alien from... Not the alien. The android from Alien. Yeah, cool. So the blob thing traveling through the air ducts and seeping through vents, although... The xenomorph travels through the air ducts too, doesn't? Or,
yeah,
or like the Jeffries tubes.
It's beam crossing.
Yeah. Thing opens with them in hibernation, like almost every Alien movie.
I love that they woke the kids up first.
Yeah, to do the work. Get to work. I don't know why they don't do that in the actual Alien movies. I mean, the Covenant had like 2,000 people on it. Surely there were kids. Why couldn't they wake them up and make them do the chores?
Because then we would have ended up with another AVP Requiem hospital scene.
Yeah. I don't know why there hasn't been like a Goonies, It kind of like alien movie where a group of plucky 80s kids takes on the xenomorph. I'd watch it.
Somebody uses a slingshot on it.
I would watch that.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
So moving on to characters, no particular character plays like a particular role, so just in general, were there any like standout characters or poorly done characters that you felt in this?
No, I mean, I think they all, lined up with how I imagined they would work in that setting. Mm-hmm. Martin was sort of Ash at the very end. They were the Simpsons characters in that setting.
Yeah.
And I didn't really need any of them to be Ripley. I didn't need any of them to be... Dallas, yeah. Just any of the other characters.
No, I thought it worked perfectly well how it was, and you see real elements of those characters and like Bart's complete disregard for the foodstuffs that they're storing up for their colony world, or Lisa trying to take the high road.
Oh yeah, she gives a liberal speech as her first.
I'm sorry, choose life, not war. Taking the diplomatic approach first. I'm sorry.
After it's already eaten an arm.
It's just because they were aggressive.
You two men were probably just being aggressive and it lashed out. That's exactly how I picture her reaction to be.
I mean, because that's what her reaction was, basically.
Yeah. And then once she sees it, now all of a sudden it's an issue.
I mean, that's the joke.
Yeah, I know, but that's funny.
Yeah.
That's how I picture her acting, and then lines up with her character.
There's this scene in the office where a bat gets into the office. They trap it, and they're going to kill it, and Mindy Kaling's character is, "No, Dwight, don't kill that poor little bat. It's an innocent creature." And then he lets go of it, and it starts flying at her, and she goes, kill it, kill it, kill it!
Every time.
I'll kill you all! I'll drive you crazy, and I'll kill you all! I'm every nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
Scary shit, where for Treehouse of Horror of Babylon, we talk about what was our best joke, what was our favorite, what was our least favorite joke. Best joke.
Had a lot of good ones. I liked the initial, Milhouse's arm getting eaten.
Yeah.
It kind of caught me. I know these things can be gory, but it still caught me a little off guard because it just, sucks his bones out.
Yeah. I like that the skin is the best part.
I think that's probably the best
I think just,
one.
as a one-liner, that's probably the funniest thing in it.
Because it hits so hard.
Yeah. And it's also true.
Yeah.
Love that turkey skin. I think worst joke for me is what Lisa said when they were sucking it into the airlock. Lisa calling it Oscar the Glob.
Yeah, I guess that will also be my least favorite because I couldn't even remember that entire sequence.
It doesn't make me angry. It's just
it just
yeah,
doesn't land.
Oh my God! Are you Stephen King? No, I'm Dean Koontz. Oh.
Kings and Koontz. My king is Martin being Ash. It's just...
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with... I just like the fact that it just eats, like, bones, like children's bones. I thought that was really... because of the gelatin.
Children's bones.
I just thought that was really sort of funny. Getting to see them all sucked out and the skins just flop.
Yeah, Beck loves canned cranberry sauce with no berries, no stems or anything like that. And I don't mind it, but she's really like the only person in the house who like really loves it and really eats it. And every year her and Emma get in an argument because Emma thinks it's the grossest thing like that's ever existed. Do you like cranberry sauce?
I don't think I've ever tried it.
I mean, it's just like cranberry jelly.
Yeah.
Sort of like almost like a thicker, meatier Jello.
Yeah.
Tastes like cranberries. I think it's fine. Koontz. I was gonna say Martin wasn't an android, but he needed to have bones to get eaten. That we didn't get to see Marge in Ripley style underwear. That's my Koontz.
That is also my Koontz.
Hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Hard is what I would be if we saw Marge in Ripley undies.
You know, it's just, like at first I was going to say I thought the ending was a little weak, but then I'm like, well, no, because they stumble across an indigenous people. It's the first Globsgiving or whatever they called it.
Blargsgiving.
Yeah, and the cranberry sauce just wanted to fulfill its purpose.
Okay, so rankings. I think this is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
It's not Death Tome good.
I was laughing throughout pretty much all of this.
Yeah. My number 4, above Dead Ringer and below Not It.
Yeah, it's also my number 4.
Below Frankenstein and above The Shining.
Yeah, I thought the visual gags on this were really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really fair. The newer episodes are
have better
animation.
Yeah.
But it worked for what this was.
We didn't mention the thing throwing Martin's skin against the wall and it flopping down. Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
That was pretty good. All right. I'm happy with that.
I just like that Simpsons will let me see children murdered once a year.
Oh, yeah. They don't care about killing kids.
It's my, this is my battle royale. This is my program. It's like, why haven't they done a battle royale?
They've done a Hunger Games one.
Okay. I guess that's probably as good as I'm going to get.
Yeah, which I guess we could cover the Hunger Games one at some point because we're doing Battle Royale. Maybe they're just like, well, we can't do a Battle Royale and a Hunger Games one.
Sure you could. You just... Okay, I guess I don't know what you add.
I don't know enough about Hunger Games even to really...
Yeah, I've only read the first book.
Yeah, I haven't read or watched any of them. Just seen little bits and pieces of the movies as Emma's watched them. 2 minutes here, 3 minutes here. Alright, you are forming a colony ship, and you can only take 10 people from Springfield. Who are the 10 that you take?
Apu, his wife, and his children.
That's perfect, that's 10. Perfect 10. You're going to end up with some incestuous Indian colonists, though.
Oh, whatever, I have Apu back.
Okay, so it's going to be Marge Minchula, who's Apu's wife. I don't think the other 8 don't matter.
Just take all of the women.
I was going to name 8 women. I'll take...
Oh, who's the preacher's wife?
Helen Lovejoy.
Yeah, you just give yourself a Simpson serum.
Yeah, and then maybe like also Professor Frank.
Yeah,
because that seems like it may be comic book guy's wife, if comic book guy gets to bring like all his comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
You better be willing to share your wife, comic book guy.
I will dress up like Greta. Oh, did it... question for the listeners. This week's versus is Ash from Alien versus Ash from Evil Dead. Upcoming on the Horror of Babylon this Sunday is our episode on the first Battle Royale film, which is the adaptation of the novel. Our next book episode is the first Sunday in December is The Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King. continuing with the stand for our prologue to the Dark Tower series. And then the next 2 Thursdays, November 30th and December 7th, are our last 2 episodes of the Deadite-a-thon with Evil Dead 2013 and Evil Dead Rise, the newest chapter in the Evil Dead saga.
Speaking of people I don't want eaten by a blob.
Speaking of people whose bones I don't want sucked out of their orifices.
Unless they ask nicely.
Oh, so I told you I went to that tree planting thing?
Uh-huh.
So we're planting trees, and the girl who's in charge of it is just, like, wandering around and monitoring everybody, like, getting supplies and shit. And she's like, oh, I found 3 holes over here that somebody didn't put a tree in. Oh, 3 open holes. Every man's fantasy. And our work culture is pretty conservative. Like, generally, most people don't even swear.
Yeah, it's not like night shift at a hospital.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for swearing last night. I was working the children's unit.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm sitting there like you're watching the kids, and first I said damn.
Uh-huh.
And all the kids are like, oh, he said damn. And I was like, yeah, who gives a fuck?
Emma cussed in front of me for the first time ever this week.
Yeah.
During the final episode of Attack on Titan. She dropped an F-bomb.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, to me, it's funny.
I mean, I don't care. Like,
I told you the first time I ever cursed in front of my dad was during Alien Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a fuck moment.
Yeah. That's what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah, that was what happened. Thank you, Abigail the First, breaker of chains, mother of fucks. She's the fucking mother of dragons.
Yeah, that is better.
All right, and Logan, the father of fucks.
The father of fucks. I didn't know if we were going to keep going.
He's the godfucker.
He's the godfucker.
And Ben the Fourth,
the patron of fucks.
And Mia the Fifth,
the fuck maker.
4 Horsemen comics and fucking.
You know, sometimes it's a good thing we're not monetized.
Yeah. I used to make these things for Ron where I would type out in a Google search comic book stores in Morgantown, West Virginia, and of course 4 Horsemen would be the first result, and I'd screenshot the results that say 4 Horsemen, and then I would start a new Google search and be like, where's the best place to get butt sex in Morgantown, West Virginia, and then paste the 4 Horsemen results over top of it and send it to him. It's like, where can I get some head right now? 4 Horsemen comics and gaming.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah. You could go to 4 Horsemen in Morgantown and Pittsburgh and shop at shop.4horsemencomics.com. And Ronald the 30 he's got a good sense of humor.
In my experience, he has some of the best.
Yes. So thank you for watching The Last Thanksgiving and recording with me.
It was a pretty good time.
Yeah, it was fun. All right. Thank you to our patrons. Stay tuned for our socials and stay scary.
Stay scary, everybody.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher, and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the horrorofbabylonpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/thehorrorofbabylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that The Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and all other major podcast apps. Stay scary.